Good morning, guys. This is the grey-bearded gardener. We've got a couple of these sheds. This is like an old local authority house that we live in, and it's going a bit rotten, some of this stuff. So I don't know that there's too much you can do about it, because obviously the more you'd have to, I guess, take it all out. But Gemma is currently just scraping off all the old stuff. This is one I just keep all my fishing gear and stuff in. So we're gonna, these doors are very tight, but we're gonna kind of do our best with them today. I think we're gonna go out to a garden centre in a minute, so we will have a look at, I'll show you later on what we buy if we get a few plants and stuff. We've got this ugly old tank thing, it's like an oil tank in our garden. It's right outside our window. I don't know what possessed whoever put that in to do it, but yeah, anyway, so I think we're going to try and get a plant to put around that. I don't know if we're going to plant it actually in the ground, or as the other door is pretty much the same, so we're going to just try and tart that up a little bit. Also got, I don't know what's this plant, Gemma?
It begins with a V. I can't remember though.
Okay. Got an old, that's just obviously an old trellis going up there. I mean, it's only April and this is just like, it's banging, it looks awesome.
And I believe this might be some sort of honeysuckle.
Oh.
That's growing here, so we're trying to get it to go up the trellis.
You want to do your piece to camera about it? Oh, okay.
I'm still in my pyjamas.
We've got dandelions there, which I've always thought were a weed, but there was another guy. Oh, I'll have to put the name down here. I've got a nightmare shouting out of other content creators who were saying how good they are and how beneficial they are, and actually, obviously, I suppose you can have dandelion and burdock, can't you? And I've never really had it, but you can make tea out of it and you can eat the leaves. And I said that to Gemma, and Gemma was like, well, until like 50 years ago, they were kind of plants and that you would have in your garden. And then they sort of like were classified as a weed. So I suppose once you get your head around the fact that they're not really a weed and they're, look, happy dog. Two happy dogs rolling around in the sunshine. And you kind of change your perspective on them, and actually I suppose they're quite cute actually. Also, these are two fruit plants that have gone in here, two types of berries, I think. Unfortunately, when my son was strimming last year, I think he got a bit strim happy and just hacked it all down. Now they seem to have survived it, but Gemma, what berries are these here?
I believe the red currants and white currants.
Okay, I didn't even know white currants was a thing. So anyway, so I'll keep you updated on how they go. Look, again, it's only April. They're only up against this brick wall. It gets a bit sunnier here in the afternoon, but they seem to be coming on. Okay guys, speak later. Thank you for watching, and I will continue my updates. Good afternoon. Alex here, of the Grey-Bearded Gardener, for obvious reasons. Gemma and I have just been out and had a little look around the garden centres, etc., and bought some stuff, some bargains actually. We've got a local garden centre. Got lots of potatoes that are chitted. These are, I don't know, these ones are not on there. Oh, it's not written on this one, but you basically get a bag. We've got that bag for £1, and they're already like that, so they're going to be going in. I think these are main crop ones, and we also have these, another bag with nice little stubby chips on them, which are Maris Bard, which are first earlies. So I think that means that they come up earlier on in the season, so these will be like the first harvest of potatoes that you get. And we've got a whole thing, a whole growing bed with nothing in it at the moment. Oh no, we're not doing those in growing beds. I'm going to put those in like a shrub bucket thing. I've got a riddle for doing the compost, which I think will be loads better actually, because it will just mean we can get finer bits of compost, and we got some seedling mix. We basically bought all of these. Now, I'm generally into doing vegetables because I like growing stuff that I can eat basically, and cooking. I'm not really mega into flowers and garden, although you know, maybe I'm just mellowing as I'm getting a bit older, because I definitely can see some, you know, it just makes garden nice, doesn't it? These were all like a quid. This was a bit of a B&M raid. Bristol Ruby, Walia. I'm going to say Walia. 2 of those. Black currant bush. Well, it's not a bush, it's like a little tree. But they did have black berries as well, which I think, though, turned into a bit like bramble. We didn't really want that in the garden. I felt like that would just take over everything. Roses, classic. Garden Princess. That could be my nickname. Tom Tom. That looks pink rose. Oh my god, we've got so much. I can't believe how many we've got. What's that? 5, 6, 5. Another one. This is a Buddleia. Davidi. Nano purple butterfly bush. Cool. And a couple of just stuff for planting. So we're going to put those in today. I'll put them in, probably under instruction. But you can see what we do. Let's get on it. Transferring over to Gemma to do. Gemma,
Yes.
you're doing a piece to camera.
Oh gosh, right, okay. Oh, everything's blown over now. So this is a polyantha rose, Tom Tom. Doesn't look like much at the moment. So we've got to soak this for a good couple of hours before we can get it in the ground, which is fine. It just means that we won't be working out in the heat. We can do it when it's a bit cooler. So all the roots come all wrapped up, very well protected.
How are we going to know which one's what's what? Have they got a tag in it? How are we going to know what's what when we're soaking it?
That is a good question. I don't know the answer to.
Well, maybe we should just use. I suppose we can just put the packet over the top, can we, while it's soaking or something?
We'll refer back to this video. But this one is Tom Tom.
And he's falling apart, old Tom Tom. Yeah, so like just put his little hat on.
Oh, I just got myself.
It's the problem with roses. Yeah, man, just rip that bit off and just. Oh, okay. Perfection. Perfection in planting.
There we go.
There we go. Always the way. Always away.
Right, this is Polyantha Rose Garden Princess. So we've got to do the same with her. Again, very well packaged.
Yep. Well done, B&M.
Or D-Re.
Or D-Re, yeah. D-Re. It sounds like sort of like a 90s sort of pop star,
It does. Off top of the pops.
like Desiree or something. Why is that one green, Gemma?
It's got wax on it, and I don't know the exact reason. I don't know whether it's some sort of protection.
Can you show it to the
or-
camera, please? Because I've never seen that before. I don't know how well you can see that. It's got green wax on
I don't know whether it's some sort of protection or it's an anti-pest thing. I've got no idea.
it. Again, as always, as usual, if you know, please let us know. Please leave a comment. Share it with the world. He's gone in. Tom Tom? No, the other one's Tom
No.
Tom. This is
Garden
Princess.
Princess. So let's get.
This is such fun. It's like it's like bingo. Or it's not like bingo. It's not even really like a surprise either, but it's really good because you open them up. We're just opening them up and seeing what's in it. So it's quite fun.
Okay, so let's do these
Sorry for the wobbly camera. I'm holding it on the clip.
Galias.
I think I said Wagler. I'm pretty sure that's probably not. We
Maybe we'll
get
ask our speaker friend
Oh
later. That's too close to your name.
yeah, artificial
Don't want to
intelligence.
set anyone else's off, so that's why I'm
Yeah.
not saying it. Okay, what's this? Yeah, this is the ruby red or Bristol red.
Bristol red.
It comes with a lot of this
It's not, it's
sawdusty
Bristol
kind
ruby.
of stuff.
Show the people.
Substrate.
Give
It's
the
like
people what they want.
it's very weird. I don't know whether it's sawdust or whether it's some sort of compost, but it's very crumbly.
I don't know, but I'm going to use it.
It's not very nice.
I'm going to add it to something else.
Okay,
Waste not, want not.
indeed.
That is my garden mantra.
All else fails, it can go in the compost bin, can't it?
Precisely.
Right, okay. This one does not have elastic band, but I'm sure there was one just now that I took off the bag. Yes.
He's going in the water, in the bucket. The bucket of
Okay,
joy.
Buddleia. Now, some people don't like these, particularly when they're growing things like cabbages and things, because they think they attract the butterflies. But I was watching another vlogger on YouTube, and he was saying that he has one on his allotment because he'd rather the butterflies be on his buddleia than on his vegetables, which makes perfect sense if you think about it that way.
So, yeah.
This
So,
one's a little bit more normal.
so they can either attract them and then they attack your butterflies. There's basically two theories. I'm going to go with I like butterflies anyway, so what the hell?
Is that a technical term? What the hell?
What the hell? Let's have the more butterflies the better. I'm all into for pollination.
Indeed. Okay, that's that one. And then we've just got
Blackcurrant.
blackcurrant, which Alex was showing you, I believe, earlier, our other currant canes that we've got. So we're hoping for them to fruit this year. That would be really nice.
I don't know they will. They did have quite a big setback, didn't they?
They did have a big setback
Which was being
called Reuben.
Reuben the setback.
He was trying to help. Bless
He
him.
was very helpful. He did do an awful lot of trimming.
He did.
He is the machinery man.
Okay, this one, bit of a pathetic root on that, but there is some life
Life.
on it, so
Life.
we'll give it a go.
Life. That's like from a horror movie, isn't it? Like some sort of Frankenstein thing. It's alive. That's it. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I've got no idea what you're
Sorry.
on about.
It's alive. Like an old Hammer horror or something.
just have another one of these. So, do you want to have a look in the bucket? They're all ready.
In the bucket. They're in the bucket. Soaking away.
So we'll come back to those in a couple of hours and we'll get to plant them up.
Grey-bearded gardener. So I've got a couple of things that didn't really come up when I first planted them, which I think I've said before. I just literally lobbed it into just old compost. Well, I'm going to be a little bit more careful with stuff, so I've got just a couple of bits here. So I'm thinking, oh, I didn't video this actually, but I've just sieved some compost together with some seedling mix, so it's like loads finer, like this. So I must confess, although I did have said, although I have had some success with the first way of putting it, I don't think that's quite the way forward. So I'm going to try and have a little bit more success with garlic chives. So like I say, these did not come up, so I'm putting them in a bit finer stuff. So these are quite small seeds. I'm gonna just sprinkle some in here fairly liberally, because I can always transfer to a bigger pot when they come up. Cover with about ½ centimetre of, right, that feels, give it a little tap to level that out, that feels loads more likely to get success. So I'm going to now do the same with my moneymaker tomatoes, which I always thought moneymaker were, I don't know if they were easy to grow. I think you're supposed to get like loads of them, tons and tons of fruit. So let's, okay, so again, just put a few of these in. It's like, I don't know, 6 there. Now, I can say that I'm going to thin them out, but if you've already watched my videos, you will know that I'm not going to do that at all, because I don't like it. I don't. These should be about 1 inch, so about 1.5 centimetres deep. Done. They can go in the garlic chives. They can go in the greenhouse now, like that, and see how we go. Winner. So we are going to now plant some. It's got holes in the bottom there. We are going to plant some potatoes into a tray, which I am fully assured is the most efficient way to grow potatoes. So I'm only going to put about 6 inches in at the bottom now. There we go. To start them off. And then I think what I'm going to do, I can't remember what it's called, but as they come up, I will put more compost around them. So break up some of these bigger bits. This is pretty bit gnarly. Some actual like proper bits of bark in there. I don't know. Potatoes, I'm sure they'll love it. Right, first earlies, I assume. Do they just go straight in, Gemma?
With the chits facing upwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah.
So how many of these shall I plant then? All of them.
No, just lay them on the top, because then you can just add another layer on top of them.
Lay them on the top. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
That's it.
So I can just put them around like that.
Mhm.
I get you. So they've all got like a bit of room. There's about probably 4, 5, 6 inches, whatever.
And just put another sprinkling on top.
Okay. That's a damn good idea. We're going to be inundated with first early Maris bards.